Hey, it's time to do another tool review for my Milwaukee 2723 compact router. It's so cute! I'm Rick, and this shut the heck up, you stinking roosters. Prepare that for your sanity! This is the shack. Hello and welcome. Hey, if you're new to the channel or first time stopping by, thank you so much for taking some of your time out to view. Always ask that you would consider subscribing. If you do, ring ding that bell down there so you are notified when the videos do come out. Give it a thumbs up, share it and like it. Definitely helps the channel. In this video, we're going to go over my newly acquired cordless router. This is a compact router from Milwaukee. Item 2723-20. This is the router only. There is no battery or charger. But I already have a Milwaukee tool, so I have the battery charger. The only thing I did was opt for a 5 amp hour battery for this tool because the 5 amp hour battery will optimize the tool itself. But this isn't something you're going to be using continually all day, so a 5 amp hour battery should be sufficient for that. Basically, it's going to be used for small jobs. I'm going to try it on a few little projects for freehand routing for like a sign. Be interesting because I don't have anything this small. Most of mine are pretty heavy duty. I do have a very old Stanley that is somewhat of a compact router, but it has the handles on it. It is a fixed base, but that one I use mainly on jobs for flush trim routing. We're going to unbox this. I'm going to check it out real quick, just look at some of the features, my first impressions. Now this is the model 2723-20. Again, this is the tool only. First thing we grab out is tools and looks like dust collection. I was surprised, I didn't know there would be dust collection on this. Wow, this is really compact. Oh, it's so cute. Look at that little thing. Let's get this out of the way. Looks like the base, and your instructions, of course. Oh, there we go. Oh, and even an edge guide. Check that out. Now let's kind of go through everything on this router, give you a little idea of all the little details they put into this thing. Well, it's going to take this out of the fixed router base. It does have an option of a plunge base if you want to buy that, but it is an additional cost of $109. This tool itself was $170, plus you have to buy the battery. So that's a pretty good price. If you're starting out, I wouldn't suggest that. You know, I'd definitely go cheaper and just get a corded one, nice budget friendly one. If you want to check something like that, I got a review of a Ryobi I did. Check it out. I'll just leave it at that, but I want something small I can use in practice freehand signs, so we'll see how that goes. First attempt was terrible, as you'll see later. Terrible! Oh my god. Anyway, okay, let's get into this. Really comfortable in the hand. Really comfortable. Even with the battery connected, it is not unbalanced. It feels very nice, but to take it out of the fixed base, very simple, very smooth and nice. Open up the quick release, push the button, out she slides, man. I like it when things go smoothly. Motor itself, really nice little motor. I like the fact that it's all metal housing here. Billboard sign here, Milwaukee, you have your variable speed. They don't tell you what individual marks are, but it is a 10,000 to 31,000 RPM. And I am sitting there playing with this and I kind of noticed, okay, you're on one. And the one is kind of, I'm looking down this way from the top here. I'm down at the top looking down. I can see the one is lined up because there's a little raised thing here, raised panel, a raised panel here. So this one is actually flush. So I can actually click, 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 and now the two. So there's actually 4 clicks in between these, which I thought was kind of interesting. So you can really fine tune this. So my thinking is from 1 to 6, it goes from 10,000 to 31,000. So we'll just take off the 1 and we'll just make it 30,000. So that's 4,000 RPM per number. So if you go 1 to 2, that goes from 10,000 to 14,000 RPM. So actually, you can dial that 10,000. You go 1 click, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1,000 RPM per click. I mean, seriously fine tune it. So you go all the way up to 4, 5, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks, 6. Actually, you got 1 click left. So that's where that 1,000 comes in, because I thought that was kind of odd. 31,000, 10,000 to 31. It just seemed off to me. But now I see, because actually right there it's level. So I do 1 little more click, and that's 31,000. 1 is 10,000, 2 is 14, 3 is 18, 4 is 22, 5 is 26, 6 is 30, and the extra little click is 31. That was just something I was sitting there playing with the other day, so I thought it was kind of neat. Every number, you actually got 4 clicks in between each number. So you got 4,000 RPM in between each number. Kind of just throwing out there. If you're really into something, that may like, oh, that's cool. I just trying to figure things out when I get a tool, and I thought that was kind of interesting. On and off switch right here, nicely located. Your micro adjustment rod. On the top here is something else I found kind of interesting. The markings are 1/64 of an inch. 1/64 of an inch. I thought, well, that's strange, they're all the same. But next to them, and I'll bring it up, I don't know if you can see, 1/64 of an inch. I don't know if I can get that in there. Next to the 1/64 of an inch fraction, there are 2 dots. Now this one has 3 dots, 4 dots, and 1 dot. So the 1 through 4 on your 1/64 of an inch markings here. And I thought I wanted to try something. So what I did, just out of curiosity, because I like to know what my tools are doing and what's their idiosyncrasies, if you will. So what I did, I took a bit, I just sat it in my collet. I'll make sure it's open first. Open it up. I just slide it in, push it all the way down, just a reference. I took my, released my quick release lever, pushed in the quick release button, and just kind of eyeballed it, made it level, so it looked like it's pretty level right here. And I set this mark at 1/64 of an inch with the single dot. And I made sure that was level. I took this, set it on 0, and we might as well do it here while we're looking. I'll show you again what I did so you know, understand what I was talking about. So the 1/64 of an inch with 1 dot next to it. We're going to set that right there. Okay. Now it doesn't matter if this is raised up a little. I'm going to put this on, get a little longer, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to zero it out. And zero it out. So I'm going to turn it this way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to touch that. I'm going to rotate this. If you look on here, you see the arrows up and down on the plus right there. See, on the other side, up and down. So if you rotate it that way, it's going to go down. So I want this to go down to raise that bit. So I'm going to rotate it 1 complete rotation, 4 and then 1/64 with 1 dot. So I'm just going to put it right on this here, on these tips of the blades. Doesn't have to be exact, I just want to get a reference so I see how much this is doing. So 1 full revolution is 0.062. Yeah, watch you. You can rotate this. That's 2, 3, 4 dots, and back to 1 dot right there. So hopefully that's 1/8 of an inch. 1/8 of an inch is 0.125. So I'll set this as close there as I get. Go down here. 0.114. Close. So that, you know, of course it's not going to be exact, and that's what you use these measurements for, but actually 1 full rotation is close to 1/16 of an inch. So I thought that was kind of neat. Get your Wixie little digital gauge, set it on there, and really dial in if you got to be that specific. Cool, right? I think so. Also on the sides here, on either side, you have measurements. This side is the inch mark, this side is millimeter. And I was looking at trying to figure out how do I reference that, because again, it really doesn't say nothing on there, and it's, I think it could be mainly for if you buy the accessory, the plunge base. There might be a way to register that, but it's kind of hard to read. But you can if you want to reference off the bottom here. So let's say I can do a quick adjustment. Okay, let's do this about right. That's close to a 1/2 inch right there. Adjust it. Then I can micro adjust it down. I am at the 1/2 inch mark right there. I know it's kind of hard to see. And it is even for me to look underneath because it's like shadowed in. It's hard to see the marks. But you can do it. Especially outside, it'd probably be easier with the bright light, the sun outside. You could probably register off that. And that'd be another thing you could do. You could register off these numbers. So, you know, you got this to reference off of. If you know that this is about a 1/16 of a revolution, you can go off of that. Another thing though, it has millimeters. So if you want to do that way, you got the metrics on there also. Now the other thing is I didn't realize when I first saw the base, I took it out of the packaging. This is actually recessed here, and that is for if you need to use a template, you put a guide bushing on there. So that's cool. They actually give you a base that is ready to receive a guide bushing, which this one is not. So you just take out the 4 screws, put the 4 screws back out this one on there, and now you can mount you a guide bushing in this and use templates. If you want to do inlays, you want to do lettering templates, whatever, you have that option. That is nice. Kudos on Milwaukee for that. Okay. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to do a couple of demonstrations and see just how well this thing does work. Going to put a flush trim bit in here. Use the flush trim bit to go around the framing of the door, the study, just to smooth it out so it's all flush. Now this is actually the door encloses my water heater. The OSB is a little bit past the framing of the door. So I'm going to flush trim this so it's all smooth. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the depth on this so my flush trim bit is running on this 2x4 here studying. See how this works. Well, this will ruin your day. It got caught in something there, and there's actually metal that I didn't notice that protects some of the electrical wiring, and I just wasted my bit. Well, you can see this is all flush now. Nice. Although I did have a problem because that was my mistake. This little area right here is where my router went in. I wasn't even paying attention. This is notched for electrical because electrical runs through here. This is the study, the 2x4. On the front of this, they put a piece of metal so if you're nailing, you won't hit the wire. I just left this on here. The wire is not in here on either side, but they still have a piece of metal. I was running my flush trim bit down here. It had this little game. Went in, as you heard it. I ruined it. So, yeah, I need a new blade now. And you saw it got caught in there and caused that collet to come loose and the bit fell out. That was my fault. Well, that was interesting. Undo this. I may have wasted the blade, but at least I know holding this, doing the flush cut around that door was actually not bad. It was very simple, very easy. Even with the battery on here, this is not heavy at all. So I have two other things I want to do before I make my final thoughts on this router. So far I am loving it. Check up here, boop, right up there. I'll have a link to a video I did on the branding iron, as you see right there. I got me a branding iron so I can brand into all of my projects from now on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to round over an edge. I want to put the dust collection on and round over the other edge just to see if this does any good or not. I'll drop this in, kind of eyeball it right about there. Then I can use the micro adjustment to get just where I want it, so I can raise this up about right there, lock it in, and I'm good to go. And one thing I like, as soon as you do plug it in, the lights come on for I think 5-10 seconds, boom. So I can actually sit there, I'll turn it this way, you can see how it lights up your project. That makes it really nice. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring it up to the project, I'll bring it down, just do one pass, take it off, we'll check out. I will put the dust collection on and we'll do the other side. Eyes and ears, I love this, I can turn it on, I got light. Love that quick stop, man, that's nice. So we'll look at that and I'm going to show you how much chips I have around here. Well, I got a pleasant little surprise. This is an 1.5 inch inner diameter. This is the hose I have for my shop vac. The outer diameter of the dust collection is 1.5 inches. So, lo and behold, voila, mine fits right in. I don't need an adapter. Yay, I don't have to go to Rockler. So with that, let me take it out. We're going to snap it right in there. Again, it's got the notch right there, so it'll fit right on the ridge right here where the adjustment is. Let's see, it's got the little tab on this side, fits in. Then you roll over, snap it in, and you put a screw in here. So let's get the screw and put that in real quick. Packet of these, it is more than likely, I would say the small thumb screw. Put the little thumb screw in there, tighten her up, and now my dust collection is set. Let me clean off all the chip from the first pass and we'll see how much actually collects. I'm going to turn the vacuum on, connect it to the router. Oh my gosh, there's absolutely nothing. There's probably 0.5%. I can count how many pieces of chip are on there. Look at that. I mean, wow. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got about 12. A dozen chips on here compared to how much was here the last time. This is a fantastic job of dust collection. I am very impressed. Blown away impressed. Maybe because it's such a small diameter, it's got very good suction in here. I have a straight bit. What I was thinking of doing, either putting a couple stripes down here. I want to fill them with I don't know, polyurethane. I can't even think of the name of it right now. Like fill in with a different color, maybe a blue or purple or something. You know, just give it something to accent. And I think I can still drill into it to make the holes for the pegs. But I thought that'd be a good test for this. I think I'll put the straight bit in there. I'm just going to hook this up and we'll see what happens. See if I like it. Then when it comes time, I figure out how to do that resin stuff. That's what I want to do. I want to fill that in there. That way I can sand this down smooth, final, drill it, and just see if that little stripe, kind of like car, you know, have that little stripe down the, not center, but off center of the car. You never know. It might look good, may not. But we're going to give it a shot. Just something else to try with the dust collection. Now before we do that, always take the battery out so it does not start on accident. I'm going to release this, push the button, slide it out, lock that in. Let's slide that in there. Oops, about 1/8 of an inch out. Looks good. So that's done. Let's mount the edge guide. There's a notch right here. It slides in like that. So take the thumb screw and start it in here, and I just put the flat washer on there. I don't know, it didn't say anything about washers, and I actually have a lock washer left over. So Then you take the fork in and you just slide it from the bottom right up into there. Tighten it up. So we do this. I just want to get this flush with that. So I'm going to let it go and go down to there, and that'll set flush with it. Snug it, and there we go. So now I just release this and I can make my depth adjustment. Now let me slide this on. Okay, where do I want this at? I think right there is good. I said I don't have a set measurement. I'm just kind of looking at it. I want it about right here. That'd be a good spot. So now I have that set. I know you can't see in there, but that's off. So I'm going to bring it down to just before it touches, and this should be about right there. So you unlock this, and they have little marks. So this is 4 dots on this. That's 1 dot, 2 dots, 3 dots. I'm back to 4. 1 revolution. I go 1 more revolution, number 4, and that should be 1/8. And we measure that to make sure, and that is almost dead on 1/8 of an inch. Came out really good. That light really made it nice to be able to see anything, and that's nice and straight. But now I can inlay a piece of wood, a different color maybe, or put in this resin I want to put in there and just make a nice bright color or something. Maybe I'll do a yellow or fluorescent green, I don't know. I just want to try this to see how it works once I make my cribbage board, how this will look on there. Always experiment with your own. You never know how it's going to come out. It may just be cool enough to make others want to buy it also. Since I have nothing made up, I'm just going to use my Rockler sign making template state part kit. This is the 2 1/4 inch lettering, and I'm going to use 1.5 inches for the D, so it's dust shack. I'm just going to trace them, and I color that in so I know exactly where my letter is at. So hopefully it's going to help me guide me if I freehand this. I've never done this before, so this is all new. Now to do this, I don't know what kind of bits. I just have this little V-type bit. I don't know if I want to go too deep, so I'm just trying to figure this out. Hit right there. So let me go about 1/8 of an inch. Went from that bit to a more rounded profile bit, which is the one I use when I do the sign with the Rockler template. You see it right there. So it might be easier because that tip seems to catch and want to move me around, but I'm not good at freehand anyway. That's not where my talent lies, but what the heck, I'll try anything once. That's why I try to tell you people, get out of your comfort zone, at least try. Yeah, well, that's terrible. Oh my God, that's nasty looking. But as you see, the bench itself, other than maybe a little bit right there, there is no chips or dust nowhere. That dust collection is top notch. I think it would be better with a base with handles because the dust collection hose really keeps pulling on it. It's hard to maneuver with that, but yeah. That's going to take some practice, but right now I couldn't sell this for beans. That is terrible looking. It looks like some 5th grader did it, and they probably do better than this. Oh man, this is bad. Oh my gosh. But I've never done this before. I've never done freehand. It is right here. The other base that this comes with, remember you got another base. You have one side that's flat, the other side's got a recess, and that's where this bushing slides in from that way. Tighten it from the back. Now you have a guide bushing on the plate. So use the bigger plate if I was going to use it to make these signs, and for the guide bushing to go around the sign. I make great signs with this. A fantastic dust collection. My large Milwaukee doesn't even do this good. If you want to see a review on that one, the monster machine doesn't even do that well with the dust collection. This is superb. Look at this. I didn't even clean this up. There's nothing here. Dust collection is fantastic. It is a little wonky because of the hose. I tell you, with a base like this and some handles, I think it'd be really sweet to do some freehand style signs. This is, to me, this is a 7, 8 star. It's so above 5, it went way beyond my expectation. Mainly, I am completely blown away with the dust collection. That is unbelievably fantastic. Kudos to Milwaukee. Good, solid build, little router. Nice little features in it. A lot of thought into this. I think they did a fantastic job. Thumbs up tool. I've showed you everything, kind of gone through all the little attachments and everything for you. You've seen how this operates. If you're looking for a really good battery power to get rid of the cord router, you want to do small projects like this, again, don't go crazy trying to do with an OG bit to do raised panel or something. That's the best left for a larger router, run 1/2-inch bit. But 1/4-inch call it, all this little stuff like this, making signs, doing small projects, edge trimming, roundovers. You could probably even do like Roman OG or something. I don't know how big I'd want to get with this. Very, very versatile, and there's a lot you can do with this, and it makes it nice because you don't got a cord, and it's got fantastic dust collection. So I am done. You make your decision up. I'm just showing you everything there is about it, hopefully helping you in your decision. If you're looking into something like this, or if you never thought about it because you weren't too sure about it, now you see exactly what's all involved with this. So thank you so much for watching. Be blessed. Take back for your sanity. Yeah, I'm not going to freehand. That is just, that's shameful. Yuck. But at least I tried. See you next video.